Surprise, Student Benedict. Let me FaceTime my apps. I'm in the street. What if the hell room isn't really a hell room? What if it's just a nightmare that I'm having? The scariest theory, you might call it the theory of philosophy, might be solipsism. Or maybe it isn't really the scary theory. I would say maybe the scary theory is the egg theory. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But the egg theory suggests that you're God, but you'll never ever wake up or realize that you're God until you live every life that can be lived, right? So what that means is that you have to become the chicken that you ate last week. You have to become that homeless guy that asks for money and you're like, I don't have it, but you actually did have it, right? That girl that you cheated on, that guy that you stole money from, that guy that you scammed, that girl that you were laughing at because you felt like she was ugly, the kid that you bullied when you were in primary school. You'll have to experience life from every perspective, right? That's the egg theory. So I think that's the scariest, because damn. I've suffered in this realm, but it would truly be a nightmare to experience suffering from every perspective, because we're suffering in different ways, right? There are people who are sick, who are in hospital right now. They can't even get up. I saw a video last week of a girl that had rabies. She couldn't control herself. She was just screaming and there were people praying. It was odd. It was odd that there were people praying, thinking that prayer actually works. But, well, it is what it is. What are we supposed to believe anyway? So if you want to pray, pray. Maybe it works. Maybe I mean, this matrix confuse you. Maybe if you pray, things are gonna make sense. But no, my favorite philosophy, my favorite theory, is solipsism. What if this nightmare isn't really a hell room? It's just a nightmare. Like, that's exactly what it is. It's just a nightmare. It's just a dream that you are having, but that is not even real, right? So it isn't really a hell room. You're just having a nightmare, but you do not know that. What if that's the final truth? See all these people. See that lady that's wearing a hat. Those two guys that are standing there. People that are eating at Roman's Pizza. The stripper that you were with last week. What if they were all in your mind? What if you imagined everyone? What if you're imagining me? Solipsism suggests that there might only be one thinking mind. Yes, it does seem like there are other minds. It does seem that way, but when you think thoroughly about it, it's also possible that there might not be other thinking minds. You might actually be the only one who can think, and everyone else is your imagination. Since we know beyond any reasonable doubt that that is possible, I mean, maybe we can't doubt that, like we can't know anything for sure, but because we dream, and in our dreams, after we've woken up, in our dreams, well, it seems like other people do have their own minds, but after you've woken up, you're like, no, they didn't, right? What if when you wake up, when you die, you just wake up and you realize that you were the only one conscious, See that chick that you have a crush on, just a project of your product of your imagination. She doesn't actually exist. You're afraid of what you've created. Isn't that crazy? You are actually afraid of what you've created. So you see her walking down the street and you can't even say hi because you're scared, right? What if she's just a product of your imagination? You know, that person who called you names last week and you're mad that that person called you names. What if that person is just a product of your imagination? The guy that's driving the bus, what if it's just a product of my imagination? Benedictine, the philosopher that you respect, what if he's just a product of your imagination? What if I'm not real? What if no one else is real but you? And you're thinking that everyone else is real because, well, you're assuming that everyone, because they have 2 hands, 2 legs, you know, most people have 2 hands, 2 legs, they seem to be able to think for themselves, they seem to be able to form opinions about things. What if you are just imagining them, right? What if it just seems as if they're able to form opinions, and of course it's supposed to seem that way. So you're just assuming that because they seem to be able to form opinions, they can actually form opinions. It's not really the scariest. I wouldn't say Soypism is the scariest philosophy. I would say the egg theory is the scariest, right? Because that would mean that everything that you're imagining, or every human, every animal that you're imagining, you have to experience life from their perspective. So if you imagine someone getting beat up in the street, you know, mob justice, you will also have to experience life from that person's perspective, right? You'd have to know what it's like to have to be surrounded by people who are hitting you with stones. Like you would also have to know what that is like. So I wouldn't say Soypism is really the scariest. It's actually the most interesting. It's scary, but not the scariest, but it's also interesting, and it can be liberating at the same time, because that will mean that all the people that have hurt you don't actually exist. So you were actually imagining them, but you thought that they exist because, well, that's what you believe. The same way that when you're dreaming, you believe that you're not dreaming, right? Until you wake up and you're like, oh, it was just a dream. And it will be weird to tell dream characters that you are dreaming. Even if you told them, it's not like if you were dreaming right now and you told the dream character, let's just say you were dreaming that you're watching me and there's your sister in the next room, and you went to your sister and said, okay, I think this is a dream. You know, there's a guy, his name is Benedictine, he just convinced me that the whole thing is a dream. It doesn't mean that she will actually confirm to you that it's a dream. She will say that you're crazy. Actually, that's what she will say. If you ask dream characters when you're dreaming, if you're actually dreaming, they'll tell you you're crazy, right? They will gaslight you. You know, they'll say things that are not really, that don't really feel true. That's why I say to get to the truth, you have to be authentic. You'll be like, but it really does seem like a dream. Like, no, it doesn't seem like a dream. Maybe it's just crazy. Maybe you have a mental illness. Maybe you need help. You need to talk to someone. You need a therapist. You know what I'm saying? They're not really going to reason with you. They're not going to tell you things that actually make sense, that will make you go like, really? It's not a dream. They'll just gaslight you, really. And that's what happens here. If you tell someone that it is a dream, they can't really tell you much, you know? They just say, oh, you're crazy. In fact, that's what I've been told. Like, no, you're crazy. Some people told me that I should never say this to anyone. If I feel like this might be a dream, I should never, ever say this to anyone. You'll be like, okay, why? It's not like we know what this is. So why is it crazy to think that this is a dream? Why is it not crazy to believe that there's a God who created everyone and he's hiding in heaven? Why isn't that so crazy? Or we came from monkeys. Why isn't that so crazy? Or we were created by the Anunnakis. Why isn't that so crazy? Why is it so crazy to think this might actually be a dream? What if it is? What if it's a dream? But it sucks so bad that it turned into a nightmare. But it's a dream, because even a nightmare is a dream. What if that is the final truth? What if when you wake up you realize that it was just you? Maybe when you wake up there isn't even going to be other people, right? Soypism says just that you're the only conscious being in the universe, but we don't know where you're going to wake up, right? So let's say you wake up and there is other people. That maybe that would be beautiful, right? You realize that, okay, I'm not the only one who's conscious, but in a realm that I was in, that I thought was real, that was actually a nightmare, I was the only conscious being, but I didn't know that. And because I didn't know that, I was living in fear. You know, I was afraid to do a lot of things because I felt like other people have their own mind. I was embarrassed. You know, when people laughed at me, I felt embarrassed because I thought that I didn't know that I was the only one, right? I thought they all have their own minds, but really I was the only one. So I was actually ashamed of myself even when I was alone, right? Which is weird. Because when you're actually alone, you can do a lot of things that you're afraid to do when you're with other people, right? So it will actually be weird that you are afraid of being yourself and being free because you think other people exist while there isn't any other person that actually exists. So you wake up and you're like, oh shoot, I was the only one who was conscious, thinking that other people were conscious. But that will make you question your reality again. You'll be like, okay, what if Soypism is true? So true that wherever I'm going to wake up, I will be the only one who's conscious. But it's weird that when you are having a dream within a dream, within a dream, every time when you wake up, you think you have woken up, right? You wake up now and you're like, okay, I've woken up. And then you wake up again, you're like, what the hell? Sometimes I ask myself, what if you having a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream is just reality resetting itself? So you do actually wake up. I'm at Gandhi Square in Johannesburg. It's Gandhi Square, right? If I woke up, what if that was just a reset? Reality resetting itself. And I'd be thinking that, oh, I was just dreaming. I woke up in the morning thinking that I'm going to Gandhi Square, but no, I wasn't actually going to Gandhi Square. I was sleeping, but really, it was just a dream, right? I was actually dreaming. But I thought I wasn't. You see, when you wake up from a dream, after you've woken up, it really does feel like it was a dream. But when you are in it, it doesn't really feel like it's a dream. If I woke up, I would be convinced that it was a dream. But what if it would have been reality actually resetting itself, and I just assumed that it was just a dream because, well, that's what I've programmed myself to believe. Maybe I'm looking at reality wrong. You know, some people will think that you're crazy if you think this is a dream, but what is it? It's real. Why do you think it's real? If I asked you a question, why do you think reality is real? I don't know if you could really tell me why you think this is real. You just be like, well, it feels real. Do you mean to tell me that other people don't exist? Do you know, people who live in other countries, people who live in Nigeria, like, but do they? Even when you're dreaming, there seem to be people who live in other countries. It's not like you'll be thinking, well, the only people that I'm seeing, these are the only people who exist. No, you think that the people who live in other countries, you think there are animals, you think there are insects, like, you know what I'm saying? You think there's other conscious beings that actually exist in this realm, 100%. So no matter what reality you're experiencing, you always think that there's other minds. But what if that's the mistake that you've made, believing that there are other minds while there's only one mind? It's only your mind that actually exists. God doesn't exist. It's just you. You're God, but you don't think you are God. Because why would you think you're God if you don't even know anything, right? If you don't know what reality is, if you don't know what is actually going on, why would you think you're God? Obviously, you're going to think that something created you. There's this line that King Los said in his song Bar Mischief, something like that. He's like, oh no, it's not that one. Which one? No, I forgot the name of the song. But he said that God doesn't know who created him, or God doesn't believe that someone created him, so that means he's atheist. And I thought that's dope. It's like, well, should God think that he was created by someone? And if he doesn't think that he was created by someone, is he wrong? Or is he right? No one created him, but how does he know that no one created him? What if someone created God? What if you're God and you think that something else created you while no one actually created you? You're just all that there is, right? You are the mind itself. You are the one who's actually experiencing reality as the mind. Dreaming up all this nonsense, and you'll be thinking that you're not dreaming. You'll be thinking that it's all real because, well, what are you supposed to think? If you are the only conscious being in the universe, no one will tell you what the heck is going on. I mean, you yourself wouldn't know what's going on. No one, there isn't a person that's going to tell you, because no one is going to come into your mind and tell you. So even if there are other minds, you wouldn't be able to experience what these other minds are experiencing, right? Because it's just you. It's only you that actually exists. So who's going to tell you what reality is? It's you who have to decide what reality is. Not your friends, not your family, not your girlfriend, not Benedictine. It's actually you. And you wouldn't be wrong. See, even if you are not the only conscious being in the universe and you thought you were, you wouldn't be wrong because no one is telling you what this is. So, who's to blame? You can literally believe anything. You want to believe in the theory of evolution? Fine. You can believe that. You can believe that we came from monkeys. you were once a fish, whatever. I don't even follow. But, yeah. What if that was the truth? And why shouldn't you believe that? You know, you want to believe that Christianity is true or Islam is true. You want to become a Mormon? Fine. A Rastafarian? Fine. Like that's really what being human is about. I guess it's about, I don't know, believing something. Because if you believe nothing, even believing nothing, you have to stay committed to believing nothing, basically. So even if you don't believe anything, and one day you become convinced that something actually makes sense, you still try to commit to not believing anything. It's crazy, but that seems to be what the whole experience is about, really. That you gotta actually believe something. And you wouldn't be wrong, even if it seems like you are. That's why I don't, I do criticize people for believing nonsense, but I'll also say, believe your nonsense, right? I'll tell you what you believe is nonsense to me, but believe your nonsense. I do have the right to tell you that I think you believe nonsense. But still, believe your nonsense, because why not? Are you wrong for believing your nonsense? Should I say that you're wrong? Maybe, if that's my opinion, but at the end of the day, no one has proven to you that they know what the heck is going on. I can't really say no one knows what's going on, but I can say that no one was able to prove to you that they know what is going on. So who are you supposed to trust? Elon Musk hasn't been able to prove to you that he knows what's going on. He can tell you that this is a simulation. Fine. Donald Trump has never been able to tell you what is really going on. He can tell you what he tells you. He could even hint on the existence of aliens and we all go crazy. It means aliens actually exist. They've always existed, right? But no one has proved to anyone that they actually know what reality is. No one. So, can someone honestly make you feel crazy for believing what you believe if no one was ever able to tell you what they believe and how came to believing what they believe, and they prove to you that what they believe makes sense to believe. It seems like you can just believe anything as a human. But what if solipsism was really the final truth? What if you never truly wake up? Maybe reality is just you being in a realm where you believe there is there's only you, right? Like, that is reality. So you are in a realm where you believe, no, there are other people, There's Benedictine, there's Donald Trump, there's Elon, there's Jay, there's M, there's Chris Brown, there's The Rock, Johnson, you know what I mean? There's Christopher Wallens, there's Nessun. What if you never truly wake up? There will always be other, not really that they will exist, but it will seem like there is always other people while there is no one, but just you. And that was it. That was actually the truth. What if you've been looking at reality wrong? What if solipsism is actually the right way to look at reality? Like, well, there's only me, and I'm dreaming, and you just look at it that way the whole time. So no matter what dream you are having, you know that you're the only one in it, right? So you know not only that you're the only one in it, but that it's a dream. So every dream that you are having, you are completely aware that it's a dream, and you are the only one in it. And that was actually the right way to look at life. And maybe you suffer because you do not look at life the right way, right? You are believing what you're not supposed to believe. The same way that if you're watching a movie and you didn't know there was such thing as a movie, you would feel like it is real and what is happening in the movie is real, but you were watching the movie wrong. So when a character is going through suffering, you look at that character and be like, and sympathize with them, right? Like, that character is actually suffering, and you'd feel like if you could do something, but you find that no, the character is not suffering. It's not real. None of it is. Everyone is acting, but you didn't know that, so you were watching the movie wrong, not knowing that it was a movie. So what if you are looking at reality wrong, thinking that it's real even though it isn't? And that was the only problem. Because if you think that it's real, then you're going to take it more seriously than you're supposed to take it. The same way that if you're watching a movie, you take it more seriously than you're supposed to take it. I remember I've given you this example many times. A dog is watching a movie, and because it doesn't know that human beings can make movies, that dog thinks that whatever it's seeing is real. You find that it's barking. I remember I watched this video where a dog was watching Lion King, and that scene where Mufasa was killed, the dog seemed hurt, right? Because it was able to process what was happening, and it's like, no, this is painful, right? It doesn't know that it's not real. It doesn't know that it's acting. But even if you do know that it's real, you still suffer in some ways. Like, you still watch that scene and you still feel something. So can you imagine if you believed 100% that it was real? So maybe you're looking at life wrong. Maybe you believe it's real even though it isn't, so you are taking it seriously even though you shouldn't be taking it seriously. You're God who forgot that He's God. So you just lost in your own mind, basically. It's like being stuck in limbo. If you watch the movie Inception, you're just stuck. You don't even know how to wake up. Maybe you think that when you die you wake up, but you find that that's not what's gonna happen. Maybe you will be stuck in another dream, and you're gonna think that it's real. So you well, the crazy thing is that when you start dreaming again after you believe you've woken up, you'll think that the reality that you've experienced was just a dream, and now you've woken up, right? That's what you would believe. That, oh, now I'm awake. Well, you're still in a dream, and you wake up again. It even get crazy. So you wake up again and still believe that what you were experiencing was a dream, but now you're not dreaming. So every time when you're not dreaming, you think that you are not dreaming. I mean, every time when you're dreaming, you think that you're not dreaming. Well, the real truth is that every time when you have an experience, you'll actually be dreaming, because the reality cannot exist as anything else other than a dream. But you don't know that yet. Or maybe you can never know that. So maybe you don't know that yet, or you can never know that. Maybe no one is going to tell you what the real truth is, what the final truth is. It's you who have to figure that out yourself. And no one is going to help you figure that out. Or maybe some of your projections will make you ask questions, but really you can't know if you can trust them. That is what is crazy. You can't know if you can trust them. This reminds me of a scene from the not the last Matrix movie. I think it's Matrix Revolution. When Neo was talking to the Oracle, and he asked her what she is, and she told him what she is. She's from the machine world. So he asked, "How can I trust you?" And she was like, "It's a pebble. Like, really, you can never know whether you can trust me or not." And that's the honest truth. It's like, I can't really do anything to prove to you that I'm real or I'm on your side. I can't. So you just have to make up your own damn mind. So yeah, you can never really know who you can trust, because no one can actually prove to you that they're trustworthy, right? There are a lot of people that you've trusted in your life who've betrayed you. There are a lot of people that you trusted will never fail you, that fail you. You're like, damn, you too? You know, sometimes it feels like the people who are on our side now will never switch. You know, you've been rolling with these people and it feels like they're real and everyone's switched up on you. But you find that in the end, they end up switching up on you. It's possible that it can happen with everyone. Like there isn't a person that is incapable of switching up on you. So who can you actually trust? Right? You can say, maybe I can trust my parents. They have my best interest at heart. But what if you were in a Truman Show? And even your parents weren't real. They were acting and everyone else was acting. You get what I'm saying? So I like that scene where the Oracle said, you just have to make up your own damn mind. You can't just trust someone. So maybe trusting is taking a leap of faith. You're saying, you know what? Maybe this person sucks. Maybe this person is not on my side, but maybe they are worthy of trust, or that's what I believe, or that's what I've chosen to believe. Because how do I even believe anything at all if it can't be known, if it can't be proven, if there cannot be evidence? That's why religious people have faith. You see? Like I said, belief isn't really a choice. You kind of like, when it comes to faith, you just choose to have faith. You can choose to have faith. But to believe something, you have to be convinced. So really, when people choose to believe something, what they're actually doing is actually having faith. They want something to be true so bad that they choose to believe it, even if it doesn't make sense to believe it, and we call it faith. So you just decided, you know what, I'm just going to have faith. Because, well, what can I do? If you're a philosopher, you'd be like, you know what, maybe I can understand what the heck is going on, so I don't necessarily need faith. You know, if you're like me, I'll be like, well, I'm too intelligent. I'll probably figure out what the heck is going on. I don't really need faith. I trust myself. We'll figure this thing out. But some people will be like, I don't want to go through all of that. Let me just try to enjoy this and have faith in what I want reality to be. You see? So I'm going to believe what I want to be the truth. You know? That's why the people who believe in the law of attraction, that's where the people who believe in the law of attraction come. Like, you just have to assume that something is true, and it's true. So not just assume actually, but feel as if it's true, and then it is true, right? And that's how you create your reality. But we've made videos talking about the law of attraction and why it's not really real. I think I've made many videos actually explaining why that's not real. But like I said, in the end, even if someone criticizes your belief, you are having your own experience. No one knows what's going on, no matter how intelligent that person is. You know, some people can actually be too intelligent for their own good. It happens. So you being dumb can actually be a good thing. You might actually figure out what reality is by being dumb. It's it's actually possible, right? It's actually possible. So you don't just trust a person because they seem intelligent, because intelligent people can be wrong. So really, you can't trust anyone unless you want to take a leap of faith and say, I want to trust this person. If I'm wrong, then I will deal with the consequences. I'm not even gonna cry about it. I'm just gonna deal with the consequences, because I'm the one who chose to trust them, right? I'm the one who chose to have faith in them. But sometimes we do find ourselves in those situations where it's up to you, man. Are you gonna choose to trust someone or not? What if it's just you? What if it's always been you? What if it could never be anyone else? What if that was impossible? You know, those two cops that would probably arrest me if I did something stupid. What if they were just products of my imagination? And when they are arresting me, I don't think that. There's this line from the movie Inception where this lady was like, have you ever wondered why the projections persecute the dreamer? And I thought that was a very interesting question. Because if I did something stupid and this was a dream, those people would probably arrest me. If they didn't try to arrest me, I'll probably think it's a dream. Like, what? Why are they not arresting me? If I pee there, they would need to arrest me, right? That's normal. That's what I should expect. You see this SBV, I'm not even sure if you're supposed to take a video, because these people can shoot you straight up. They can shoot you. They can think that this is a gun. You know? I think that's what happens if you're black in America. The cops see you holding something like this and they just, and then now they regret after. They don't even face consequences sometimes. Like, I thought it was a gun, so I'm innocent because I thought it was a gun. It's like, well, to choose to be a cop, you have to be ready to die, period. So you mustn't be a coward. You know, you gotta be like, yo, I don't know. In some situations, I have to take a leap of faith. I have to be sure someone is holding a gun before I even start firing. I shouldn't be like, oh, this person is black, so they are holding a gun because they're black. Because not every black person has a gun. But yeah, if I saw that as BV van, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and open it and take the money, and no one said anything, I'll probably think it's a dream. I'll probably wake up. It would just be too weird. I'll be like, no, that can't be real. That doesn't happen. In the real world, I get arrested. In the real world, I have to sleep in jail. The city of Johannesburg honors all those who made the supreme sacrifice in all wars, battles, and armed struggles for freedom, democracy, and peace in South Africa. I think there's something that's weird about being a human is that we are all selfish. Now, no matter what we stand for, what we're really standing for is ourselves. I think people pee here. It smells like pee. Like when people say they're standing up for something, they're actually standing up for themselves, right? Like no one really stands up for something like maybe as a sacrifice. You'd be like, I'm just gonna stand for something that is real. You are emotionally attached to what you stand up for, and that is what is selfish about being a human. Because if you experience life differently, you'll be standing for something else. Yes, there are things that you can stand off that make more sense than other things, right? You find that you're standing for something that actually makes more sense than what other people stand up for. But in the end, you are really standing up for yourself. But because there will always be people who support whatever, then there will be people who will appreciate you for standing up for what they believe in. We're that selfish. Like no one really knows what they're actually doing, right? You could, there are people who fought against the apartheid government. There are people now who are like, well, the apartheid government was better. You know what I'm saying? They look at what the ANC has done to this country, because maybe these people thought that if black people got into power, they will help other black people. But is that what actually happens, or people just start being corrupt? This reminds me of a meme that I saw the other day. They saw this guy. You could see that he's thinking something crazy. So they wrote on the caption, when you taste luxury and start to understand corruption. So some people might think they have good intentions, and maybe they do in the beginning, but then they taste luxury and they're like, I need more of this, right? And it's usually like that. I think there are very few people in the world who really didn't care about anything else but saving people, which is like is the rarest thing in society. If it's possible, right? If it's possible, because I don't want to say it's impossible. So if it's possible, then it's the rarest thing in society. People just represent themselves. Guys, my leg has a problem. Sometimes, and this problem has existed for many years, but now it's much worse, and I don't understand what's causing this problem. So if you have any idea, you're gonna tell me. Like, it hurts. I feel like when I step down, sometimes it hurts on its own. Like right now, I can't walk properly, even if it's not injured. Like sometimes it's just hurt. I don't understand what the real problem is, and sometimes I think the issue might be much worse than I think. But it usually happens when I injure it by stepping wrong, right? So I don't know if there's just a problem that has never, like the problem that's never been identified. I don't know if I actually need to see a doctor, but it's such a weird problem. And it sucks, man, because I've been working right in a while. I injured myself again last week. I was working well before last week, but I injured myself again by stepping wrong. But today I didn't injure myself. It just started to feel this way. So I don't know if I've just not properly healed. And tomorrow I'm going home. I want to do my walk and talk videos at home. You know, I think that would be beautiful. And at home there's stones everywhere. So if you step wrong, probably won't make it home. But will that matter if I'm the only conscious being in the universe? Because that would mean that there is no home. Home is just a place that I've created in my own mind and call it home. Do you feel like solipsism sounds crazy? If you feel like solipsism sounds crazy, I'll ask you this question. What doesn't sound crazy? I think no matter what you think life is, it's always going to sound crazy when you think deeply about it. Like there isn't any explanation that you can come up with for existence that won't sound crazy. And that's why I say it makes more sense to look at this as a dream. Call it a nightmare because, well, it feels that way, right? But it makes more sense than believing a lot of other things because dreams are not supposed to make sense. So maybe the reason why this is not making sense is because it's just a dream. And everyone else is just in it. And it's always been that way. Maybe we're just too attached to dreaming. It's possible to be attached to dreaming. In fact, dreams are more interesting than this realm because dreams are short. There's a reason why people like TikTok videos. They're short. People have a short attention span. I think maybe that's how it's gonna be like when you wake up from this dream that you think is real. Maybe the reason why you think it's real is because it's long. So you just like, oh, compared to dreams, it's long. But it would be nice to just not really experience something for too damn long. And to be able to choose what you want to experience. Because in this room, you don't even know what you're going to experience. Even if you try to choose what you want to experience, it doesn't mean that you're going to experience it. You could just choose to go to a party and enjoy yourself, but you find that you don't enjoy yourself. You find that your experience sucks. And people wish they were animals. Like, imagine being a bird. You see how free it is. You can do whatever there. It's more free than humans. Where is it? Those pigeons. Then do whatever they want to do. They're not gonna get arrested. You think you're free as a human. You can't just do whatever you want to do. You can get arrested. Like, we live in this invisible prison where there are things that you just can't do. If you do these things, there's gonna be real consequences. I mean, it sucks being a bird sometimes because even like human beings feel entitled, right? They feel like they can just eat you, or they can do whatever they want to you. If they catch you, they can put you in a cage and just give you food. So it will be not different from being locked in prison. But you will be locked in that cage even though you have not done anything wrong. So that will actually suck. So I wonder if it doesn't suck if there's an animal that is enjoying. Even that it doesn't suck to be that animal. Maybe being a honey badger doesn't really suck. When I went to the zoo, I saw a honey badger. It was in captivity, but I think it was the only animal that seemed happy. Like, it didn't seem to care. It's just moving around. I was like, damn, these animals are unbothered, bro. They seem to be scared of nothing. I saw them fighting lions. Be like, damn, like a lion. Even lions look at them and be like, what? Like these things are crazy. But what if all of that is not real? And it's just in your mind and you just think that it is? Because what can you think? Maybe the final truth has always been solipsism. You know, it's hard to think anything or find it's hard to actually have definitive answers in a world where no one is going to confirm if you figured it out, right? No one is going to confirm to you that, oh, yo, my brother, you got it. Like, that's it. Like, it doesn't seem like to be the real test here or the real challenge here. Yes, waking up is important. It's something that a person must try to do themselves. But it doesn't seem like that's like you win if you figure it out and you actually wake up. I mean, you do win, but it doesn't seem like the point of it is that you win by waking up. Is that waking up is winning for you because you don't want to be trapped in a false reality that you don't even understand, that confuses you all the time. So you don't want that. You want to wake up and realize that it was just a dream. I saw this meme the other day. On the caption, it showed on the picture, it showed a kid sleeping. And this, in the caption, it said, "What if life is just a dream and you are still in grade 3, sleeping? Like, all this is just a dream. You're still a kid in grade 3, sleeping. You're at school." That's why it doesn't really make sense, because this is not believable. I mean, if you ask me if the world was going to be anything close to this in 2005, I'll be recording myself on this small camera, walking the streets of Joburg, making YouTube videos. I would think that's crazy. Like, that's not what I would, like, that's not how I would imagine my life to be. If they said, no, you know what, with your phone, you can talk to someone who's living in the UK easily. You don't have to go to UK to speak to people who live in UK. You can actually use your own, and in real time, you see, you can just see them. You can see them in your, like, that's not believable. Like, what kind of technology are they using to even make that possible? You see, so it does feel like a dream. Like, it's, I don't know how weird it needs to get for people to be like, okay, this just can't be real. You know, like, I don't know how weird it needs to get until everyone is like, no, man, no. We've seen enough. You know, the synchronicities. You know, when you're watching a TV show, let's say the title of the episode of that TV show is "You Should Have Loved Me," right? Let's just say the title of the that episode is "You Should Have Loved Me." You find that all the characters are going through experiences that support the title, right? but they're not experiencing the same thing, different things, but then it all aligns very well with the topic, right? With the title itself. Life kind of seemed that way. Like life unfolds in chapters, bruh. It's like you don't choose your experiences. Like no matter what you do, you can be desperate and try to change reality by working hard or trying too hard. It's like it doesn't really work. It doesn't really matter. It's like whatever you're supposed to experience, you will experience it. Whatever door should be open for you, it'll be open. And if you don't choose that door, something is going to happen for you to choose that door. Isn't it weird?
Where are you coming?
Reality feels too damn convenient to be real. So you could think it's a simulation. You could think it's a dream. And this is beautiful, actually. This is beautiful. Hey, this water is gonna mess up my camera. It's crazy how when you get so used to something you don't even appreciate it. If we've never seen anything like this ever, like everyone will be coming here. Like if you've never seen water ever in your life and someone explains to you what water is, you'll be like, I need to see it. You look at space, you just take it for granted, you know, the sun, the stars, because you see that, you see the stars every day, you see the sky every day. So it's all taken for granted. Like we take for granted the things that we already have. Yeah, that's why women love what they can't have. It's crazy. Like once you love a woman, it's very easy for her to stop loving you. Maybe she just become attached, but really for her to love you the way that she did before she had you, it's not the same feeling. The feeling changes, you know, because she now has you. She now have you. So we look at the sky and just take it for granted. But if we're living in a bunker, something like that, and we've never seen the sky before, we would appreciate it. You look at the sun and be like, damn, it's beautiful. I don't know if the sun is beautiful, but you probably think it's beautiful. What a weird world that we found ourselves in. When I first came to Joburg, I think I was paying attention to everything. You know, the tall buildings, like that building is tall. But now you just be walking, like you actually own the streets without a problem. You know, people say you're gonna get robbed out here, but you don't even care anymore. It's like you actually own this thing. These beds are free, bro. At home, a bed wouldn't move like that. Like they never, like no one is catching them to eat them. At home, where I'm from in a village, they don't give a damn. Like they're eating these birds, bro. These ones are not scared, man. They think human beings are their friends. This reminds me of the movie called Sophia in London. It's a Nigerian movie. So this Nigerian guy, his name is playing the character. I think that's probably his real name, I'm not sure. So yeah, his name is Sophia. He goes to London. He sees these pigeons in the street, like there are many, and he's trying to catch them because, well, at home they catch them, they eat them. So when he sees them, he's like, damn, how can they all be plenty in one place? It means I'm good. I'm just gonna be eating them, right? Thank you guys for watching the video until the end. It's actually good to ask yourself the deepest questions that you don't have answers to, right? Than to pretend as if you know or to pretend as if you understand something that you don't understand. Like the video, share the video, tell me what you think. Let's explore this reality together. Thank you.